men and wives ride them, you know. And some of them guys are rough, but they was just about the nicest bunch of fellas I ever seen. And they were really a nice bunch. And, I live here by myself. It gets pretty lonesome sometimes, but just like today now. Today I wasn't lonesome today because they had me running all the time, go here and go there, you know. I'm the gopher. Go for this and go for that, you know, for the boys. And I can't do. I'm 83 years old, and most of my kids are around here now, but two in Indiana, one in Lafayette and one in Anderson, and all the rest of them. Two of them does the farming here. I'm not able to farm. Well, I helped them farm some last year, but then my farming days are over. I know that. I wouldn't know what I would do over. I don't know how much longer I'll last. My wife got a stroke, and I took care of her, and I've had people say, well, I'd stick her in a nursing home so they'll give her better care than what you can, or they can like hell. I can give her better care at home than a nursing home will. So I won't be too far out of a nursing home myself, I guess. Another year if I keep it going like I am. But I don't want that. That's why I'm still here by myself.
Since 1959, Francis has also been the caretaker of the Our Lady of the Highways shrine.
CYO, that's Catholic Youth Organization. Well, they had an idea they wanted to do something, you know, something religious, so they wanted to put something like that up if they could find a place to put it. But my daughter was in there, so I said, well, that'd be no problem to put it on my place here. And then they finally, like I say, drifted away, and I inherited it, and I take care of it. And put about 2 bouquets of flowers on there a year, which cost me $25 to $30 a piece. And light bill about $20 to $25 a month. And I pay for that out of my own pocket because I like it. You know? We claim the Blessed, I'm a Catholic myself, the Blessed Virgin was the Mother of God. And they just go along that way, and I go along with them 100%.
We're all on a journey, and Francis Martin Shrine is a good place to stop and reflect on the road behind and what lies waiting around the bend. When Buzz and Todd were out cruising America, traffic crossed the Mississippi River over the Chain of Rocks Bridge, considered an engineering marvel when it was first built. Today it's closed, but several newer bridges span the Mississippi River, leading us from Illinois to Missouri and into the heart of the city known as the Gateway to the West.
You could get one with peanut butter cookies, or you could get it with, I don't know, I'd say 30, 40, and then the combinations are limitless. Some people want pecans, some people macadamia nuts on it, you know what I mean? So if we have about 20-something flavors to start with, one person would take a lifetime to eat what we sell here in one day in the summer. So we need more than one customer. We got a lifetime of experience making concretes and sundaes. I was a year old when Dad started it. My mother got into the business very young, very soon after Dad started, and my father was very good at showmanship. He sort of had a style. He was an excellent tennis player, and he believed in showmanship, and he passed that on to me. tell you what, in 1948, they opened up the first St. Louis Steak and Shake in St. Louis, and it's only a block down the street here. And I want to tell you, they really dug into our business right off the bat. This store has been here 55 years, so they haven't exactly given up. And I used to just shake my head when I'd go by there and see how busy they were. And jealousy doesn't do anything to help a businessman. You're better off doing a better job yourself.
Ba 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 ba.
So we have become a tourist attraction, which I'm happy for. A lot of it is people moving away, coming back to visit friends and relatives. Other people, they go somewhere and they say, when you get to St. Louis, look up Ted Drew's. Well, that thrills me to know that people actually think that much of our store.
On the surface, it seems nothing on the road can resist the impact of change, even out here in the Missouri countryside. Yet deep within the earth, one of the road's most popular attractions remains the same as ever.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you to Merrimack Caverns. I'll be your tour guide. My name is Travis. As soon as you're ready, you can follow me on it.
Merrimack Caverns is probably known as one of the foremost attractions or tourist attractions on Route 66. My grandfather had a dream as a little boy of always opening up this cave. He grew up on the Merrimack State property, which my great-grandfather owned, and at that time in 1933 it was a quarter to go through, and if you didn't like the tour, you got your quarter back.
Now your tour will last approximately an hour and 20 minutes and is a mile and a quarter walk round trip. But I am going to please ask we all stay close together because I will be turning lights on and off as we go through the cave. And I wouldn't want to accidentally shut anybody off in the dark.
We tried to recreate the scene of around the 1870s. The figure standing is Jesse James. The one kneeling beside him is his older brother and partner in crime, Alexander Frank James. You're now seated on the 4th floor. This is called our theater room. It gets its name because of the formation behind me. This is our stage curtain. This room is called the jungle room. It gets its name because of the dense growth.
Okay, we are now standing in what we call our gunpowder room.
This is one of the largest single stalactites that you're going to see on your tour. This is what we call the mother-in-law's tongue.
They didn't make enough to make a living out of just taking tours through the caverns because, as I mentioned, there were only like 11 people go through on the 4th of July. Well, that was the busiest day of the year. So to supplement their income on Saturday nights, Friday and Saturday nights, they'd have square dances. And there were, again, no utilities. They had a John Deere tractor that they ran on the outside, and it ran 4 100-watt light bulbs back here so they had light. My grandparents bought the property in 1933. They went to the local bank. I think I told you this story. They borrowed the money. The local banker told them that they were nuts. They'd never make a living out of a hole in the ground. You know, the rest is history. As they say, we have 200,000 people a year now go through this cave.
Okay, once again, thank you all very, very much. Bye-bye now.
Like a giant time capsule, the Merrimack Caverns have preserved an era long since past. Walking through its dark rooms and mysterious corridors, we could almost hear the laughter of some old crusty moonshiners or the gunfire of a Jesse James ambush. Nobody seems to know what happened to old Jesse and his gang, except for a few folks down the road at the Jesse James Wax Museum.
Museum tours all set to go. Anyone else caring to go through? Step in and get your tickets and we'll start you right on in. On exhibit, you'll see life-size wax figures of the James Gang, personal belongings, affidavits, antiques.
Over a $100,000 gun collection and a large doll collection. Just 3 minutes till the next tour through the museum. Now this was Jesse's .44 Remington. This is the gun he died with, and it has almost a perfect balance. And this was Frank's .45 Colt with your long barrel. Now he and Jesse both filed the sights off to get it out of the holster faster. History book says that Jesse James was killed in 1882. We say he wasn't, that he lived until 1951, lacking 3 weeks of being 104.
Now, there's a bit of controversy surrounding the death of old Jesse James. The official version is that Jesse was shot in the back by a man named Bob Ford in 1882. But the folks at the Jesse James Wax Museum claim this story was a hoax, a scheme devised by Jesse to give him a way out of his life of crime. They insist that the man killed in 1882 was in fact Charlie Bigelow, not Jesse James. Among their evidence are signed affidavits from 3 other members of the James Gang, each claiming that Jesse lived until the year 1951.
In 1948, my husband was selling tickets at Merrimack Caverns. And there was a group of people went through the cave, and there was an elderly gentleman stayed outside. So my husband started talking to him, and during the course of the conversation, he said that there was going to be a story break that would shock the nation. And about 3 weeks after that, the first story broke. Jesse James is alive in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Here at station number 1, you will see a picture of a man who claimed to be Jesse James. This is how he looked at the age of 100.
Now, my husband flew him to New York City at that time on We the People show. When Police Gazette stripped him down, he had every one of the identification marks right down here at the bottom. Now, this picture shows the tip end of that index finger that was chewed off at one time in a fight. Now, this is a computerized printout from the age of 28 clear through 102. That's the same year, 22, 28, and 102. The cartilage of your ear is like your fingerprints. No two peoples are alike.
Was the man who they heralded as Jesse James in the 1950s really the notorious train robber from the 1800s? After hearing all the evidence, we still weren't sure.
Of course, they can form their own opinion. I mean, you know, but I mean, I helped to take care of him, and so did my husband. There's never been a doubt in my mind.
We continued west along a trail Jesse James himself might have ridden. In Cuba, Missouri, we rolled into one of the highway's oldest and cheapest motels, the Wagon Wheel. At $17 a room, you get all the peace and quiet you can stand, because life here rolls along about as fast as the wagon wheels. The Wagon Wheel Motel was built in 1935. In recent years, it's been owned and operated by Pauline and Harold Armstrong, with the help of the man who showed us to our room, affectionately known as Mud.
Hey, Smoke. Smokey, come here. He wants to get you in the picture, too. Tell him about what you do in the parade. Say, I sat up there with Pop in the old car. Turn around. And he wears fancy clothes. He wears red earmuffs, or got a nice collar, red bandana. He's a ham. So it's Pauline and Harold Armstrong that own the place. But she bought it in 1963. And I came here 1st of January in '64. And we all work here together. We worked hard to keep it here, and we ain't letting those big ones, I guess we ain't letting those big ones push her out. They're nice rooms for our price. $12, $15, and $17 is the highest price room we've got. I bought a trailer, and I lived in that trailer down there in the back, right where that one's sitting, for 27 years.
They used to have a sign on I-44 that said, Cuba, no Castro. I thought it was cute. We bought the motel in 1963, and it's very different from when I first came here. They all are nice people, and I don't know, it seems like now they don't care, they're slipshod, they don't really care about your place, they tear up things, smoke pot, and all that.
Someone will come in and just a big bunch of bull and what have you, and you know that he's a little hopped up. I can look in their eyes and tell if they're a little hopped up. Not, you can tell after you've ever been around a doper. You can look in their eyes, just the pupils of their eyes. Nothing filled up.
Now, a stay at the Wagon Wheel Motel isn't complete without a tour of Mudd's Antique Wagons.
But I always wanted a Model A because that's what we grew up in. They've both taken first place in the Crawford County Fair. There's a picture of us just running the parade. See, Dog, he was right there in the back. They don't have much trouble getting fur, especially with Smokey with us. There's Smokey. I think you was in on that last deal. Now there's my fun car there. It's an '86 Chrysler LeBaron that I didn't fix it up. All I did was doll it up. I put the Continental kit and the rack and the special horns.
Mud stays here when I go away. Yeah, I'd hate to leave with anybody else. You know, he's just like family to me.
So for all you road-weary travelers looking for a soft bed and friendly service, head on over to the Wagon Wheel Motel, where the slogan reads, "Fall asleep at our wheel instead of yours." It's over in Cuba, Missouri. Remember, no Castro. After our stay at the Wagon Wheel, we had enough change left in our pockets for some shopping at the local vineyards in St. James. The town was founded by Italian farmers, and since the 1900s, these roadside stands have sold grapes, jellies, and juice to passing motorists on Route 66.
My name's Damon Ramray, and my grandpa started out here with the grapes. They came over from Bologna, Italy. What they did, though, when they started out back then was they had just a few acres of grapes. They used to just take them up to the road and sell them in the baskets and show them to people, and the travelers would buy them. And then later on, when Route 66 come through, they started selling them on the highway here. And then I guess up around, 1960 or so, it just died out. And more and more people were selling, selling their grapes. So more and more people kept getting out of it to where there's hardly nobody left. And they're down just a few acres now is what we're down to. And maybe just a few stands on the road. I'm one of the few, I'm probably the youngest one that has a stand here. All the other generations just sold out or leased them out and they're done.
With the interstate freeways, stopping has become more of a challenge. But a few stands still manage to attract customers.
They've been stopping here for years, since the early 1900s to buy them. And we hear them stop, oh, I used to stop at this was so-and-so stand. Kind of interesting, keeps on going.
The highway between Springfield and Joplin in southwestern Missouri once boasted the deepest rock cut in the country. A traveler today might wonder why they bothered, since the road leads only to quiet hamlets and closed shops.